What a room.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me into
Yeah, welcome
your.
to my bedroom. It's a lot of fun.
It's very fun. Love it.
Yeah, it's almost as chaotic as your Mirror music video, I would say.
Yeah, true. It's pretty chaotic in there too.
Where did that idea for that music video begin?
So I made this brief together with my close team, like my creative team. So basically, I just wanted to have. I usually have like my few demands is like I like to keep myself a bit busy on music video shoots. Like things gotta
Yeah,
happen. Like I'm not that good at standing still for a very long time.
and
I
there's
mean, I
so
can.
much standing still on shoots.
There's so much just waiting. So I was like, let's do some fun stuff. Like I want to drive a little bit in the car. That would be fun. Bow and arrow would be cool. I mean, that was actually Femke's idea, but my idea was like, I wanted to have something that portrayed what the song is about, and as the song is about accepting who you are. And I don't like, of course, I don't every single day that I look in the mirror and I'm like, I love myself. I don't do that, but that's why I needed to hear this song.
Yeah.
And in the right moments, that chorus like really hits me. So the reason why the music video is like quite chaotic is because it can feel a bit chaotic when you don't agree with yourself. You don't really know, like, it's a very classic thing. I'm 24. I don't know too much about life, but I know that like from 18 to 24 things happen and you think like you've figured out stuff, but then you're like, hold up, maybe I haven't figured out everything yet. So I think it's definitely a song that is written with like where I am right now in life, maybe, and just like um embracing that a little bit, embracing the fact that maybe I don't know everything, and it's okay. It's okay to be a bit all over the place and yeah, not know
I like
exactly what.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm 24 as well, and well,
Oh,
I'm turning
you are.
24.
Yeah,
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 there you go. Look at this. And it's that sort of thing when you're 18, you're like, by the time I'm 24, I'm gonna know who I am as a human, blah blah blah.
exactly.
And you get there and you're like, far out. I'm still like feeling a little old, but also still very young in the relative scheme of things.
I agree so much. And that is like I feel like is the whole vibe of like 24, 25 is like when you start to feel like I'm a little too old for like some of that shit, you know?
Yeah,
But you're also too young to know everything. It's a bit of a weird
absolutely.
in between state.
Yeah, I feel like people expect stuff of you by 24, whereas like when you're 23 or younger, you're in your early 20s. So people are like, you still got time to figure it out. God damn. Okay.
Mm.
It is quite like I would say on the first listen, like a body image anthem, coming to terms with yourself, obviously mirror the symbolism. How has your relationship with body image changed over the past couple of years, particularly as you've grown an audience?
I'm so glad, by the way, that you hear it in that way too. That was kind of the point of like making this song too, that for me it's about personality. For me, it isn't about like my physical appearance. But I really like that it can be interpreted in that way too, because that's the beauty of songs, that it's like interpreted in different ways. In terms of like body image, I don't know. I've always been like, that's not like the most important, like the important thing about me. And I've always said that like my favorite part of me is my brain. I think my brain is pretty cool.
Fuck yeah.
Um, yeah. But yeah, of course, like you change, and with my job, like being in the media a lot, of course, like you just try to like, even if it's positive, it's just like it's always a lot of talk around physical appearance, isn't it? And especially I would still say, especially as a woman, like you get a lot more talk about it than others. So yeah, of course, it can be frustrating. I feel like I don't know, it's been pretty chill for me, but social media is a tough place, and yeah, I just try to. Social media is so great. There's so many fun things about it, but I try to log off whenever
Mm.
it's needed. Yeah. How about you?
How about me? Yeah, it's just I think this was such a necessary song because it's that same thing where I think a lot of thought patterns need to be changed with women our age. And like for me, I look in the mirror and you're like, God, there's so many things I'd want to change about myself, rather
Mhm.
than being kinder to yourself, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because that always manifests elsewhere. Like if you're mean to yourself inside, people know on the outside. It's like that experiment when someone talks terribly to one plant and really nice to another plant, and the plant that's spoken to really nicely grows better. Have you seen that
Yeah, that's
experiment?
true. I've heard that experiment. That's such a nice analogy. I like that. Oh,
Yeah, I
plants.
know.
I'm so bad at keeping plants. Like I
Oh,
can't.
God,
I
I
can't
should
remember.
show you the plants out on this deck. Like, terrible. Look at this. I've got a bouquet of flowers here. They're so dead. They need to be chucked out, but they could be nice
Mm,
dried. But yeah, I'm just
I
really
like them
lazy
dried
with plants.
actually. I've bought flowers dried and I've gotten it as a gift from like my really close friend because she just knows that I won't be able to keep the plants happy. So she just buy me like, here you go, dried flowers, and you can keep this alive. Yeah.
Yeah, even like cacti and stuff can't keep that alive. Okay, well, on the topic of reflecting, are you a good artist at looking back on your work? Because you know how many actors don't like watching their own movies. A lot of people don't like hearing their own voices when they speak. How are you at reflecting on your work? Do you enjoy watching your music videos or watching back live videos of yourself, or even reflecting on Sucker Punch?
It depends. There's definitely moments where I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that. Especially like early shows where I'm like so much energy and I'm like, I'm gonna show everyone in the audience, like very Sigrid, like 17, 18, like, yeah, let's get it. Then I get a bit like, oh, there, Lord, please don't. This is so embarrassing. But I think I have a no, I have a very good I have a good relationship to my songs. I'm not ashamed to say I listen to my songs from time to time. I'll put on Don't Feel Like Crying if I'm like, yeah, I need to hear that. Because that's I think that is the reason why I make music mostly. Like, of course, I mean, I make music because I think I'm pretty good at it. And then I also make music because I want to, it's always like when I go into the studio, I want to make the song that I didn't have in my playlist. I'm like, oh, I really want to hear that this week.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's such a cool, I feel really lucky that I'm able to do that. I can just like create my playlist, which is sick. So yeah, yeah.
And obviously, you want to make music that you enjoy. And particularly being an
Yeah.
artist, you might have a hit that you'll have to play for the next 3 decades. So if it's not a song you enjoy, god damn, you're gonna
It
hate
is,
that.
yeah, absolutely. You gotta make sure you love it. Like, yeah, I'm the one
Yeah.
who's gonna sing it, talk about it. So I'm prepared. Mirror is my life now. So that's also a reason. I guess I was a bit strategic with it. I was like, this needs to have like fun and cool production. It needs to be the perfect mix between like glittery, sparkly, like fun that like picks me up type of energy when I'm gonna play it live over and over again, but also have that like cool side to it. Like the bass is very like hard bass because I'm like, I need to feel it. I'm not gonna hear it in the PA when we play it live. I want to feel it. So yeah, planned it out there. Because if it was just like the lyrics are quite not sad, I would say just very emotional, very heartfelt. It's in the
They're
context of
empowering.
heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right.
empowering.
Right.
It's in the context of a heartbreak. So it's like, ooh, it's because that's a really very like reflecting situation to find yourself in, because then you start
Mm.
thinking about everything. So that's why I wanted a production to like lift it up so it didn't feel so heavy every time I would sing it.
That's
Yeah.
good. There's that good push and pull then.
Mhm.
What was the first idea of the song? Where did it begin?
So I went to LA January 2020, right before everything.
Nice.
Little did they
Nice.
know, I was like straight off the Sucker Punch tour, and like we all
Yeah.
agreed, and like, oh my God, Sigrid's gonna have her like writing gear. It's so exciting. I was like, gonna travel the world. I went to LA. I was there with Emily Warren, who's a really amazing writer who was on the last record, and she basically just took me under her wing and like introduced me to everyone in LA, to her network. We had so many fun sessions, with lots of different producers, just to like see like, ooh, what's out there. It was great. We had a really good time. Emily's amazing. And then she introduced me to this Danish producer called Sly, and we, the three of us, had a session there, and we wrote Mirror on either the first or the second day. I can't remember.
wow.
Yeah, it was really sick. It was like straight like, oh, this is cool. So we did that. We wrote the song, and then weeks later, the pandemic happened, and they were closing the borders. So I got on a flight back home to Norway, spent like 3 months in my parents' house skiing and chilling. And then when there was like a travel corridor between Denmark and Norway, so I traveled
Nice.
to in the summer. So I traveled to Copenhagen to this Danish producer and a Norwegian writer who is Caroline Eilin, and we finished Mirror and like tweaked it a little bit. So that's the story of the song.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, interesting. You kind of touched on it, that you'd come off the back of the Sucker Punch tour. And for that album, you were writing a lot of those songs with very strict time constraints in between shows and the likes. But obviously you've had the luxury of time now. Which creative process did you prefer? Some people work really well with pressure. Some people find it hard having like an endless timeline. What worked for you?
Exactly. I mean, I have so much internal pressure that I feel like I'm good with that. Because I always want to do my best. I'm not here to make like okay music. To me, of course, I'm sure someone would probably, I don't know, disagree or something, but to me it's like my favorite type of music. But I really enjoyed just like being properly in that studio cave, that I was like, we would go swimming in between sessions that summer in Copenhagen. We would have food. Their dog was there. So Caroline and Sly, they're together. They're living together. So like having their dog there was just like it was so cozy.
Part of the family?
Yeah, it was actually, I was just like their like long lost like daughter coming from Norway. It was super cute. It was very nice to like not have that like external pressure of like needing to go somewhere, and my team was so chill. They were like, have fun, write your songs. It was really nice. And now we're back in campaign mode, and now it's go time, and now it's like promo, but it's fun. I need the balance. I think yeah, I don't know if I get easily bored, but I like to have the dynamic in my life of like, yeah, thanks.
That's fair. Yeah, it's good to be kept busy. Do you find that did you ever last year kind of lose a sense of self having less work? Do you find it hard to separate or easy to separate your sense of self from your work?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think I can't be the only one who had a mini identity crisis. Like, yeah,
Everyone did.
the girl.
I'll join. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were some like just like small big moments. I just remember like it was so weird just like being pulled further and further and further away of what I was really doing, and like not really seeing the difference on days, because I was just like going for a walk, making some food, didn't really feel very creative, and I couldn't travel anywhere. And travel is such a huge part of my identity and how I do my work. So it felt so helpless, like trying to sit at home by myself on the piano and try to make music that way. That isn't how I like to make music. It's just so lonely. And I tend to never finish stuff when I just sit by myself, because I just get too critical of it. And if there's more people in the room, it's so much easier to be like, oh, actually, that was great. That was maybe not that great, but like we can work on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's probably like very typical Norwegian of me, but like I really enjoy my own company. I really do. I love hanging out with myself and just chill. I would say I have a pretty good relation to myself, but it gets to a point where it's a bit too much. Like even me, who's like pretty introvert, was like, okay, now it's enough. Like I want to meet new people, like see different things. But yeah, I had some great people around me, like my family, my boyfriend. It's great. Yeah, so it was nice too.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, good. Okay, well, Mira's the first taste of a larger body of work. Tell me about the overall family it sits in. What inspired this next collection of songs? And what time period have you written them over? Was it just last year?
So the new music have been written, yeah, all of it last year, which is nice. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like with Sucker Punch, the album that like it's like a time, can it that sound extent like timestamp, like it's a
Yeah, a
certain
time
time.
capsule.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
time capsule. Yeah, exactly. And this will be the same, but um I mean the new music is like, it has like a pop structure. It's I think it's a pop music, but
Yeah.
um I don't know. But does it matter? I don't know.
No, it doesn't. Show
But
the
it's
list.
a
Screw it.
really, it's a fun, um I would say like energetic, but also, yeah, like not introvert, but like very like it is introspective, but with that it's also like um looking outwards as well. Yeah, I don't know how
The
much
yin
I
and
should.
yang.
Yeah, it's a lot of push and pull, a lot of push and pull, but yeah, much I would say it's more organic, which is sick. And that's definitely inspired by all the live touring. And that was definitely something I missed so much last year, that I was, dreaming myself away onto a stage.
Ah, gosh. Yeah, look, I'm dreaming to be in the audience, to be honest. That'll be nice. I look forward to my first Sigrid live show. Well, it's so lovely to meet you, and thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And congrats on Mira. I love
Thank
it.
you so much. Thank you. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. It was lovely to chat to you too.